Howdy folks, High Value DMD. Don't just give me your subscription, but please let me earn it. Let me earn your like and let me earn your comment. Unless you have been living under a rock, you heard about the shooting in Utah. The shooting that ultimately claimed the life of someone named Charlie Kirk. I personally didn't know a whole lot about Charlie Kirk, but he did come up in my YouTube shorts at times. I did watch some of his videos and interactions. And he is a conservative politician that just goes to college campuses and he invites people to speak. Very similar to how individuals like a Steven Crowder comes to mind. He's done that before. And there's a couple of other like evangelical Christian type people that are Christian only content, less politics, maybe 1% politics, more Christians. But Charlie Kirk, he was, let's just say about like 65-70% politics, and then he talks a lot about Christianity as well. Probably much more than someone like Steven Crowder would. And I was just reflecting on what this shooting meant to our society in the United States, to me individually. And there's a couple of things that come to mind. One is that people, they don't care if people will not respect your opinion. So you can share your opinion, you can share your the way you view things, and you have no ill will whatsoever against your fellow countrymen. You wish everyone the best, but you just share what you think. Exactly like I'm doing right here on my small little YouTube channel. You can do that, and there will be people that will come after you, to hurt you, to threaten you, perhaps even take your life, just for exercising your right of freedom of speech in this country. On one side of things, people would say, oh, well, he is espousing hate speech. He is, how do you say, he is oppressing people. He is perpetuating the genocide at the southern border, or all of these things. And there are people that genuinely think that way. That is their worldview. They believe that people like Charlie Kirk are literally evil individuals. Which I don't believe that. I just don't. I don't think that Charlie Kirk at all was like that. And it goes to like a moral argument and a moral discussion at that point when you're viewing people as evil, because where do you base your social mores and values and beliefs? For Charlie Kirk, it came from the Bible, from the teachings of Jesus Christ. But people that don't share those beliefs, where do they come from? Well, they come from humanism and science and nothing, atheism. Essentially, subjective morality. Whatever you want to believe, that is truth. Well, heck, I mean, you can even make politics a religion. I firmly believe that a lot of people that are so amped up in politics, that is their religion. Another thing that I want to talk about that I took away from this event, and I think that this affects all of us. It is no matter what you say, what you do, what you believe, people are going to hate you no matter what. There is absolutely nothing that I as a person can say. I can hold all of my beliefs right down the line. And there's absolutely nothing that I can do, any friendliness, any demonstrations of generosity, any open-mindedness to someone else speaking, anything. There's nothing I can do to convince somebody that I'm not a bad person, because they're going to hate me anyway. Because Charlie did that. Charlie Kirk was an example of someone that tried to be gracious in the public square to people. And yes, he did change some people's opinions. Or while he may not have changed some people's opinions, some people maybe walked away from that event respecting him. Maybe thinking that he wasn't this Nazi, evil, hireling, you-know-who person. But there will still be people out there that no matter what, they will hate you and they want to destroy you. And I do believe that ultimately there are people that are probably too far gone. And that's what people were saying about that shooter. He had all this hateful messaging and the hateful things he said. He called Charlie Kirk a fascist and all this, that, and the third. If you want to know what a true fascist is, you need to look at Nazi Germany. You need to look at Benito Mussolini. You need to look at Francisco Franco. You need to look at Antonio Salazar in Portugal. Places like that for true fascism, people. I'll be honest, like Donald J. Trump is not a fascist. Charlie Kirk was not a fascist. That's really doing disjustice, not in a positive way, but disjustice to true fascist totalitarian regimes that have existed. But all of this talk, I'm really talking to the moderates out there or the conservatives. Because if someone was liberal, they would view me as this white male, straight white male guy that, and no matter what I say, no matter what comes out of my mouth, I'm automatically this fascist, evil human being, this morally evil, repugnant human being that wants to oppress minorities, that wants to oppress women, and yeah, so what do you do with that? What do you do? How do you counteract that? How do you lessen that? I don't believe in violence unless somebody comes in this door right now and somebody threatens me or my wife, threatens my friends when I'm out and about. Then I will use violence. I will use violence and I will stop that threat. But for people that just hate me, I don't know what's going to happen, folks. I don't know. Hopefully, this never happens again with people like Charlie Kirk. Hopefully, on the left, on the right, nobody gets hurt. And people are talking about this other senator from Minnesota and all this. And I did read that story. I don't know what's going on with that. I would like more clarity on that story. I would like more clarity on who tried to hurt President Trump. I think that needs to be evident and talked about and transparent. And I think that this country needs to heal. I think this country needs to come back to some serious morals. And I believe that's rooted in the Bible. And I know that's going to make people mad and people are going to hate that. But hey, if everybody were to just follow the 10 Commandments, thou shalt not murder, thou shalt love your neighbor as yourself, right? All of these things, I don't think we would be seeing things like this play out. In the vitriol that is spewed through the media, and it's not just the leftist media, there is vitriol spewed on the right. People would say, oh, how did you vote for that guy in office? He look, he's not the model Christian, okay? He's not the model Christian. Things he said are not indicative of him being a Christian, okay? But if everybody were just to magically be a Christian, I think this would go away. I don't think we'd be hurting people. I don't think we'd be doing all of these crazy things, man. I think we could get along as neighbors. And even if somebody doesn't believe and they're not a Christian, heck, maybe just apply some of those values to your life. Let's try that. You don't have to believe that there is a God, but maybe just sort of be like the light version. Back in the App Store in the day, they had a light version of apps. Maybe you can be a Christian light. You can be a cultural Christian and sort of coalesce with that. The family values, the treating your neighbor with respect type of thing. But, you may not be on board with the whole abortion movement, the way it goes with the Christian folk and all of that, and I get it. Not everybody can be right in line with the conservative Christian movement, but man, I'm just riffing. I'm just talking because that video I saw was that really messed with me, man. I came back from working on a patient, sat down, and my friends had sent that in the group chat, and I opened that video and I saw it. I saw the guy talking full of life, and then a second later, I don't even need to say it. I mean, that is something that you just don't see, that you see in like video games, that you almost pretend is not real, doesn't happen, but it happened. In 4K high definition, you could see everything. And man, it was tough to watch. Very tough to watch. People say, well, we need to ban guns, and that's a whole separate video I'm going to make. It's impossible, I'll just say that. Somebody got behind a weapon and trained it on an innocent, unarmed person who was just trying to speak in a public forum on a college campus, a place where people are supposed to learn and grow and search for truth, and this heinous individual decided to silence this guy. But let me tell you, I don't think that it's going to go quietly. I don't think that what he talked about is going to go away. It's not going to go away. I think more people are going to turn to some of the things that he had to say and talk about. If anything, his message and his ministry, so to speak, has just been amplified even more. But people are going to hate you, folks, no matter what. They're going to hate you for what you believe, who you are, what you look like. Let's be honest, what you look like. And I have to accept that. And I tell you what, and I already carry a weapon everywhere I go, but there's not going to be anywhere where I don't carry a weapon. And people who are severe left-leaning people out there who hate the way I look, that hate white men and think that we're the oppressor, those people that despise my way of life, and the fact that I'm straight and I'm married to a woman and that she's a traditional woman, she doesn't have a job right now, she wants to stay home with her kids. They hate every single thing about my way of life and our beliefs. And I can guarantee you that I'm not going to allow somebody, at least I'm going to have a seat at the table, and I'm going to have some bargaining power, if you know what I mean. So, and with that, I will leave you. I hope I earned your subscription. I hope I earned your like, and I hope I earned your comment. Let me know what you think below. Until next time.